And Yee Lee, thank you for your question. Oh boy, that is a very difficult situation. And in fact, that was already going on before coronavirus. With Corona, with so many people trapped in lockdown, it limits our resources tremendously. It's been so hard for children and for parents. Already children were becoming addicted. Adults becoming terribly addicted to screens. That's a universal problem. And like every addiction, it works chemically in the brain in the same way as every other substance addiction. It's not easy. So you do have a challenge there, a big one, and so does your son. It's difficult for him. I have to say that in fairness to your son, it's too much. A child of 7 cannot be expected to have all of the willpower and the self-discipline nowhere near that an adult would have when it's time for us to let go of one of our addictions like tobacco, alcohol, workaholism. There are so many different kinds of addictions. As I was saying, addictions to screen, adults suffer from that as well. And we even hide it from ourselves, how much time we spend disappearing into a screen. So let me see if in a short space of time, I can say a few things that I think will help you and that I don't necessarily expect that you will get results quickly or immediately. This is a work in process. It will go with time, perseverance, and more perseverance on your behalf. The first thing that your son needs from you in order to feel like he can find the strength to resist, to go without his screen whenever he wants to, is to have all of your understanding of emotionally what that's like for him, especially in a time of social isolation when very often the screen, one of the reasons why it's so powerfully addictive is that he might be missing the love of his friends and playtime directly with his friends. How much time does he get to engage? Human beings, almost every last one of us, we need physical closeness. We need to be in the group. We are a herd animal. We are like ducks, okay? We want to go together. That's what makes us fundamentally happy. He's hurting. He's feeling that emptiness. And he doesn't necessarily know how to understand that, how to process that, how to say it. The screen gives him people, even if they're cartoons. So to have your understanding, to say to him, before you rip the screen out of his hand, to say, look, I really know what it feels like. Be honest, because perhaps you do know what it feels like to want something so badly, and to give him understanding that you get why he loves the screen, how much he enjoys the games that are there, because let's face it, some of the games are very, very fun and enjoyable and even a little bit educational sometimes. I hate to admit it, but it's true. Let him know you really understand why it hurts to let go of the screen sometimes. Then he will feel like you're on his side. It's easier when he doesn't feel like you're his enemy trying to take away something that he loves, okay? Then he'll trust you more. He'll want to collaborate with you a little bit more. So you begin with the understanding. The next part is that I want you to tell him very simple terms, in simple terms and with emotional honesty, why you are afraid. What do you become afraid of when he overuses the screen? What could happen? Okay? It's important that he know you're not just being fastidious or authoritarian. There's a good reason why you will take charge as the adult, because he's not old enough to have the strength to resist. It's unfair. So we do need to take charge. and not be just the good buddy that says yes to everything, for the sake of his health and his well-being. So to let him know why you're afraid of the overuse, all right, so that he understands you. First, you understand him. Second, you invite him to understand you. When you've made that connection, all behavioral improvement comes from connection, the interpersonal connection. That comes first. Then the behavioral changes follow more easily. And that's probably the most important thing to remember in parenting and in teaching in education. Connection, connection, connection. The emotional two-way connection comes first. It's the basis of everything. So you understand him, he understands you. And now what? Engage him in a solution. You are taking charge, you are the leader, but be a democratic leader. Ask him if he has good ideas. What should we do to make it easy for you, son, that sometimes you need to stop with the screen and I will need to take it from you, especially before bed. I'll need to take it and hide it, okay? Let's make an agreement. All right? How long do you think? The doctors are saying that screen more than 4 hours a day is bad for you. How much of that, let's talk together, how much of that should be allowed for just having fun and playing your video games and looking at YouTubes? How much? By the way, in this question, there's another worry, which is about some of the things that he will see online that you don't want him to see. That's a censorship issue. It's delicate, it's important, and it's too big for the scope of this question. I just want to put a flag on that that's important too. It's not just how much he watches, but what he sees. Some of the things that are on the internet are violent and awful for anyone, especially children. So we do need to step in, okay? So make an agreement that he feels by having participated in the conversation, he can take ownership of that agreement. So when it comes time that he's saying, no, I want a bit more, and you say, remember that agreement, I will take the screen now. So he will know, I was part of that agreement. I signed my name. That's my agreement. It's not just mum being the boss. Okay? That's the thing about a democratic relationship. It's not about freedom. It's about responsibility. It's about growing up. If I had a say in the resulting shared agreement, then I own that agreement. Okay? I'm more likely to come to that party and to make my effort. That's important. Here's another thing to help, and this works with all addictions. It's important to not just think of giving up the addiction. That's too scary and leaves you too empty. Think of replacing it. Replace. Now, I know that this is more challenging in times of isolation, lockdown, coronavirus. Of course it is. We need to be very inventive and resourceful and just do our best to replace the screen with what's healthy, interpersonal, physical, interactive. So games that require two humans, eye to eye. Physical games, board games. Okay? Interaction replaces screen. Being out in nature whenever you can, as much as you can, get in the car, go to a park. Be physical, climb things, get dirty. That is a beautiful thing to be addicted to. And it takes up time. It's very absorbing. Nature heals. It heals the brain as well as everything else. Replace the addiction. So replace it with human interaction, being in nature whenever you can, but also a creative pursuit, okay? Writing a story, playing a musical instrument, making drawings, building something, cutting cardboard, making a model. So there's magic. When you bring one of these healthy things, interaction, nature, creativity, physicality, bring that opportunity to your child. It can become, there's a lovely moment where they get so lost in it, so absorbed that they don't want to stop, and they'll forget their screen, forget to even think about it. Because we are built to love interaction. We are built to love creativity, building things, drawing things, writing things, inventing things, making things work, playing with tools. We're built for that. We're built for being in nature, amongst friendly animals, amongst trees, on the grass, near the sea, near the water. We're built for that. We thrive, we become happier and healthier in that. And it just wipes out screen time. It's stronger than screen time. It will win as much as you can. So I've given you not just one answer, but a complexity of answers, okay? This is an issue that you approach with many different responses, okay? And I wish you all the luck, and I know that this is a question that almost every parent right now is grappling with, so thank you.